What's going on YouTube? This is Drano's back at it again, bringing you another video in the Miami Hurricanes Dynasty here on NCAA 14. Appreciate you guys rocking with me as always. So jumping right into the next week, as you guys can see, I'm actually going to go ahead and show you guys my recruiting because I've been doing a lot better than I did last year. I actually already have a top 10 recruiting class here. I've got one 5-star, a couple 4-stars, so just showing you guys as far as kind of what players that I've picked up to this point in recruiting. I know it's kind of not a real big deal, but nonetheless, I'm getting a little bit better here. But one thing that happened actually in the landscape of college football, Georgia Tech actually beat Clemson, so looks like we might not even have a chance to play Clemson again in the ACC championship if we're able to go ahead and get there. Just kind of crazy, especially considering how loaded that team is. But as you guys can see, taking a look at the top 25, and actually after that win, Georgia Tech actually propelled into like the top 12 after beating Clemson. So, interesting to see that. But as you guys can see, first things first, we're actually going on the road to LSU. So playing against an SEC school, obviously a lot of people think that the SEC is the best conference in college football, and with good reason. I mean, I think they had in this past NFL draft, they had something along the lines of like 38 to 40 players drafted. So obviously they have the numbers to kind of back it up at this point. And then LSU especially, I think if I'm not mistaken, they had 14 players drafted in the NFL in this past draft. So that being said, what did you guys think about the NFL draft this weekend? How did as far as your professional team, do you think that they drafted what you needed? And then as far as college, I mean, did some of your favorite players end up? So I'd love to hear that. So as you guys can see, we are taking on LSU in Death Valley, and it's actually raining. So obviously, if you guys are OGs of the channel, you guys know for whatever reason when we play in these kind of rainy condition games, things get a little interesting to say the least. So going ahead, taking on LSU, number 1 versus number 16. This is actually a rematch of the, I believe it was 2017 or 2018 Cowboys Classic, 2018, excuse me, when LSU played Miami at Cowboy Stadium, and LSU absolutely just demolished Miami. It was not a good day for the Hurricanes there, but hopefully we're able to go ahead and get a little get back, especially since we're playing at LSU. But as you guys can see, we start off opening possession. We go ahead and get the ball with the Eric King, just spreading the ball around the yard, trying to use his receivers to his advantage. Definitely got to be mindful that LSU is probably, at least up to this point, is probably going to be the best defense, at least, that we've played up to this point. I'm not exactly sure what to expect as far as their offense, just because obviously they did lose Joe Burrow, the Heisman Trophy winner, so obviously some big shoes to replace there. But with LSU, I mean, they're one of those teams that they don't rebuild, they just reload going into the next season. So it looks like they actually have, if I'm not mistaken, yes, it's Miles Brennan. I wonder if there's any relation to Colt Brennan, but I don't think so whenever I actually looked it up a while ago. But as you guys can see, he definitely is not having any issues there, as he's able to hit a big dot down the seam, able to get a 30-plus yard pass play. And then, of course, kind of one of the big concerns that we've had on defense this year is tackling, and it shows there as Jamar Chase is able to go ahead, break a tackle for a touchdown, and then again looks like their receiver breaks man-to-man press and he's able to get a touchdown. So that was a surgical drive by the LSU offense, and if we're not able to slow this offense down, it's going to be a long day for the Canes in this case. So taking a look here, 2nd and 8. Take the sack. Like I said, I think this LSU defense is by far the best defense we've played up to this point. So 3rd and long, we actually throw it up to D. Wiggins, who has definitely been developing into one of D'Eriq King's favorite targets this year. And then we're actually going to go ahead, try to get the run game going with DJ Dallas, who actually got drafted by my team, the Seattle Seahawks. So I was pretty happy to see that. Happy to see him reunite with Travis Homer, another former Miami Hurricane. So, glad to see DJ Dallas finally make it to the NFL in that case. And then really just looking at the rest of the Canes that went to the NFL, I believe it was Quarterman actually got drafted by the Jags, so he was actually from last season, at least in this series. So Quarterman went to the Jags, and then KJ Osborne, another favorite, actually went to the Vikings. And then I think that might be it. I'm not sure if I'm missing anyone. Oh, Trayvon Hill. He actually ended up going to the Packers in the 7th round. So, but other than that, though, I think Trajan Bandy, who is surprising because he's a 99 overall in so far in this series, as well as Jeff Thomas and Romeo Finley, I think. They all went undrafted, but ended up being undrafted free agents in this case. So, good to see them, at least get opportunities despite not getting drafted. And now just jumping back into the gameplay, just kind of going back and forth between, real life, NFL, and then also college football. As you guys can see, LSU has definitely looked pretty solid up to this point, definitely holding us to only 10 points, and that's impressive considering the fact that we're one of the highest scoring offenses in the country. But as soon as I say that, DJ Ivey makes a play. Like I said before, DJ Ivey, it kind of surprises me with how up and down he's been this season, that he's actually leading the country in interceptions. And whenever I was looking, because I believe they had already announced the award kind of semifinalist or something along those lines. It looks like DJ Ivey is looking like he's going to be the favorite to win the Thorpe Award, which is kind of crazy because I feel like, there's been, quite a few times where, we ask him to play man-to-man press and he gets absolutely just burned by the receiver across from him. So, not going to say anything. If we could have back-to-back Thorpe Award winners in Trajan Bandy and DJ Ivey, I think that's pretty cool. So, but as you guys can see, DJ Ivey, again, almost gets another interception there on that play. Coming down to the second half, or almost to the second half here. Really not a whole lot of time before we go into halftime. Try to see if we can make something happen here, but unfortunately nothing doing. So we go into halftime up by 3. And that's not bad considering that, the first couple drives that LSU had the ball, they were moving pretty effortlessly down the field in this case. But 2nd and 19. Just try to make it, at least 3rd and somewhat manageable. We hit Tate Martell over the middle on a drag. But 3rd and 12, again, not ideal conditions, definitely behind schedule, and we actually go ahead and drop it there. So, going to force us to punt here. I guess Miles Brennan in this case is a little mobile. For you guys that that are LSU fans, is that the case? Is Miles Brennan kind of like a dual threat quarterback that he can be running the read option like that? Let me know, because I was a little surprised at how often they ran the read option in this case with him. But not too much of an impact there. 3rd and 11, they try to go screen and they almost get it. I was a little concerned whenever I saw that there was really no one out in front with all those blockers out there. But we're able to hold the door and force LSU to take their 3. So really at this point, I'm just going to try to play conservatively, try to run the ball, try to eat up a little bit of clock, and at least get a field goal. Because I think at this point, if we can get a field goal and leave them barely any time left, I think we should be in a solid spot to come away with this game. But, at the same time, we have to stay ahead of schedule, stay ahead of the change in this case, as you guys can see there. We'll pick up a clutch 3rd down. But, as you guys can see, next play after that 3rd down conversion, we're able to hit Mike Harley on the post route wide open for a touchdown. So, obviously, we'll take that all day. It'd be kind of silly for me to not take that. So, as you guys can see here, momentum definitely going in our favor as we're actually able to go ahead and get a stop on the next LSU possession, and then from here we're just going to try to eat up as much clock. We're guaranteed a field goal at this point, So no point really just being reckless and being silly. As you guys can see there, the read option game just has not been there against this fast LSU defense. So we go ahead, take our 3, and just going to go ahead and play defense here. Really just it's going to be one of LSU's last possessions here. 3rd and 6. They try to call the screen, but nothing. Christian Williams, one of our young DBs, is able to make a play. 4th and 8, they go for it, and they hit McMath. I want to say that was 4 verticals, and he outruns the whole entire defense. I don't know why he's shimming like that, but nonetheless, he's able to go ahead and take it to the crib for a touchdown. So at this point here, we're definitely in a ball control situation. Definitely just going to eat up the clock with the running game with DJ Dallas and D'Eriq King. And we're actually able to go ahead and do that. Just one more first down, and we're able to go ahead and do that and slide with D'Eriq King, and that's going to be ball game. As you guys can see, we take the knee there, and we come away from Death Valley with a 3-point win. You know, like I said before in my past video, we're definitely entering that stretch where, you know, over the next 3 games, it's going to be very tough, but this team is battle-tested. So just taking a look at the stats for you guys. D'Eriq King, efficient game, had 1 interception, but that was right at the end of half, so I wouldn't, you know, necessarily hold that against him at that point. And just showing you guys the rest of the stats, kind of balancing the running game there. So really, you know, with that being said, guys, if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate you guys hitting that like button. Really have loved where this series has ended up. And if you guys are looking forward to more content like this, consider subscribing to the channel. Have seen some growth here over the last couple weeks, and it's just very exciting to see. So if you guys are looking forward to more content like this, as well as Madden, and especially Madden 21, you're definitely going to want to hit the subscribe button. And until the next one, guys, I'm signing out. Peace.